Our tastes in film may seem destructive, but this is a productive dialogue. Damn it, your mother ate my dog.
Hello again, everybody. Hey, Jesse.
Chicken dinners.
Okay, episode 56. I believe I said it out loud beforehand. I don't know if that's true. I didn't. I didn't look it up. But episode 56. Today, actually, I didn't even. We were talking a little bit before we pressed record, and I totally forgot to tell you. We were talking about doing the box office game again, and I was like, "Oh, 1995. That's pretty crazy. It's a long time ago. Do you still want to do it?" And you're like, yes, of course. I'm super smart. The movie we're doing today, Waterworld, came out in 1995. What are the odds that it's one of them?
Who knows? Maybe it'll be on the box office game this week.
It didn't make that much money compared to how much it cost, but it probably made some money. Might be on the list.
I'm sure it made some money. At least some.
Today we're finally doing Waterworld. Everybody's been asking about it. They're like, why don't you do more element-based movies on your podcast? I'm like, well, what do you want? And they're like, I don't know, something about air. I'm like, well, that's not really like fun to talk about. What's a good movie that has air in it?
I mean,
Air Bud?
we already did Con Air, so
Yeah, we already did Con Air. Fire. We did The Wicker Man.
yep.
That was fire. Earth. Nothing. So Waterworld.
Here we are at Waterworld at last.
Anyways, Jesse, what's new in your life?
What's new in my life? Well, New England, New Jersey, New Hampshire. But beyond that, nothing that new. What about you?
You're a fan of the hockey team, the Ottawa Senators. Is that correct? Is that true?
Well, I was born in Ottawa, and so I thus became a fan, but it wasn't, I can't say I really follow hockey all that much these days.
But did you hear that they are for sale?
No, I had not heard that.
Okay. Well, the owner died,
Oh,
and his family has put up the team for sale, the estate, and it's you should look at a newspaper or something because it's quite a popular story. There's a lot of famous people who are interested in purchasing the Ottawa Senators. Ryan Reynolds is a big one.
hmm.
He's big into him and his group are interested in buying the Ottawa Senators. Um, the Weekend, you know that guy?
I do know that guy.
He's interested in buying the Ottawa Senators.
Hmm.
And then there's a third party involved, at least, and that's Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's interested in buying the Ottawa Senators.
There you go. I think they'd all be, they do great in the position.
It'd be pretty wild. I'm going camping this weekend.
Okay.
When's the last time you've been camping?
The last time I've been camping, it's been a long while. I can't say I'm the best camper in the world.
Well, look, we don't camp often, but we're trying to get into it because we bought an SUV, which you can pack a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
So we bought an air mat, or not an air mattress, but like a mattress topper that goes in the SUV,
Right.
so we can sleep in there in case, because we're going to Cortez Island,
Cool.
which is off of Quadra, which is off of Campbell River, which is on Vancouver Island,
Mm-hmm.
and there are wolves on that island. So
Don't get eaten. You know, Mackenzie and I are also getting an SUV and have the exact same idea, putting a mattress in the back. But we want to go to the Yukon sometime. Not next year, but maybe the year after.
it's very smart. Not to steal your story here, but we'll talk about your SUV after I tell you that in a month from now I'll be in Oregon, driving down the Oregon coast, and we'll be camping using a mattress to sleep in the car while in America.
That's exciting.
So you're finally getting rid of the Subaru,
Yes, I'm inheriting an SUV. Didn't purchase it.
inheriting an SUV.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's cool. So your parents are just buying a new one, and they're like, "Well, why don't you just have this one?"
No, it's my grandfather passed away.
Jesse, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. But he lived in Halifax, and that was 3 weeks ago now or so, and it's been traveling by rail car. It's in Coquitlam now, I think, or something. It's waiting to be unloaded, and soon will be mine.
Wait a second. They put an SUV on a rail car from Halifax?
They sure did.
That's so smart. Because you
Yeah.
think, you'd have to drive it from Halifax.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going to... Okay, so your grandfather passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave you a car?
Well, it wasn't willed. It was in the estate, and my mother, who went over there to deal with, the afterlife technicalities, had the opportunity to purchase it, and that is what she did. So it was kind of like a gift from my mother.
Well, that's very nice.
Yes.
Well, not very... I don't know. It's a tough thing,
It makes
when
emotions,
death is involved.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But a free car...
Well, my car is in disrepair. It's on its last legs. She knew I needed one, and I'm very cheap and didn't want to buy one. So I've just been putting it off. But I got lucky.
If you can get away with getting a vehicle and not having to put any money down, or like every month have money come out of your account, and the car is good enough to drive and not, you're not worried about it breaking down all the time, then that's a win.
Yes, it's a 2014 Ford Escape, and it has like 9,000 kilometers on it. It was like never driven.
Oh, man, that's so good.
Yeah. Pretty lucky.
That is, it's kind of a bummer to the podcast, though.
A little bit. As a contrast, my Subaru has like 280,000 kilometers and is on its last legs.
Subarus do last forever, though.
They do. It has done me good so far.
The Yukon, huh?
Yeah, we kind of always wanted to go there. It was a nice place to it's not too far away that it's going to be overly expensive, and we can experience the outdoors, which is like the main reason we want to go there. Lots of cool hikes and stuff. And apparently it's really easy. We know a few people who used to be police officers in the Yukon, and we inquired about can you just park on the side of the road and sleep? And they're like, oh yeah, they got much bigger fish to fry. They don't care up there.
You hear about people driving south from where we live, but not a whole lot of people driving north.
Yeah, it's been on our bucket list for a while, so that'll be a good one to do.
Well, okay.
Well, and we'll be driving on the land, which is the opposite of water.
Right. That's a great segue.
Thank you.
To the movie. So, okay. Waterworld, this was a film that I've wanted to see for years because I've heard so much about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just how big of a failure it was.
Right.
A joke of a movie, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
How accurate was that feeling for you after watching this 2-hour and 15-minute movie?
Well, I too had heard many of the same things, that it was a flop and it's not very good. But I had sort of an opposite experience. I thought it was pretty solid, actually. I'm assuming that's where you're going as well.
I'm gonna I'm gonna break um, the expectation of where I'm going.
Okay.
Wait, and then okay. There's two things here. One, this movie was not the worst movie we've seen. It's not the best movie we've seen. It's like a medium middle movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree.
I'm on IMDb right now, and it's like if you liked Waterworld, here are other movies that you'll like.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Kevin Costner in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Right.
Oh, one of them is Kevin Costner in The Bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is a movie called The Postman, starring Kevin Costner.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Never heard of The Postman. I wish I would
No,
have.
nor I. Have you
Maybe that would have been a good one.
have you seen many Kevin Costner movies?
We just finished watching the first season of Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen Field of Dreams. I believe we might have even seen that together.
That's quite possible.
But other than that, no. Like I haven't seen The Bodyguard and haven't seen Robin Hood. I don't think.
You haven't seen The Untouchables or Dances with Wolves?
No.
Those are the other two I've seen besides Field of Dreams.
All right. Well, let's bring up Kevin Costner. I didn't like Kevin Costner in this movie.
He was an interesting choice. Let's put it that way. He was kind of like one-toned through the whole thing.
He seemed like he did not want to be there.
Yeah, that's true. But that seems. I mean, he was probably paid a pretty penny. I would have to assume, given the budget.
I would
But yeah, he
hope so.
doesn't strike me as an action. I mean, I would call this an action movie. I wouldn't. He doesn't strike me as an action star, really. But he was doing, from what I could tell, most of his own stunts. I thought that was one of his better parts, was like the physical acting, as opposed to like the dialogue.
He pushed the girl multiple times.
He pushed the girl multiple times.
Yeah, so the main girl in this movie, I believe her name was Helen.
Yes, Helen.
They this movie was they had a lot of the same scenes. It felt like
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
this scene of Kevin Costner and then Helen and then the little girl like
Mhm.
arguing, and then Kevin Costner would push her away, like physically throw her to the side,
Right.
and then the girl would like draw stuff, and then he'd be like, "No, where did you get that? That happened at least twice."
Yes, you're right. There was a lot of arguing, then pushing, and a lot of like climbing and ropes.
As an aside, I'm
Mhm.
looking at The Postman. It's also a post-apocalyptic action adventure film starring Kevin Costner. It's also a book. The film follows the story of a nomadic drifter, played by Kevin Costner, who stumbles across the uniform of an old United States Postal Service mail carrier and unwittingly inspires hope through an empty promise of a restored United States of America, and starts his path to become a national hero.
Sounds interesting.
Not good, apparently.
Oh, well. There you go.
However, this might be something I watch on my own time.
I could see me watching that. It sounds somewhat interesting.
Looking through the list of Kevin Costner movies, it would appear that I have not seen many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was my fourth only.
He's been in a lot.
He has. He was a very prolific through the 90s, especially.
On acting, Dennis Hopper. He played the villain.
Yes.
What was his name? The Deacon.
Yeah, Deacon.
He was also the villain in a movie that came out just a few years earlier than this one, called Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
I did feel like his performance in this one was slightly better than that one.
Yes, I agree.
his character was at least like eh, I didn't want to gouge my eyes out when he was on screen,
Mm-hmm.
but they got to stop giving this guy the villain role.
Yeah, he's. I agree. Definitely a better performance. Not it wasn't like as distracting. He just like was like a normal villain, and not like a very very strange character with stupid lines.
Yeah, he lost an eye, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a comedic villain.
Yeah, with like actually some effective comedy. I thought, where like in the Mario Brothers movie where they were trying to do comedy and it just never worked a single goddamn time. I actually kind of laughed a few times in this movie.
I still couldn't take him seriously as a villain, though.
Well, no, he was definitely over the top. But I thought his performance was pretty solid. It was like purposefully over the top, but not like he didn't overdo it, you
How did you feel about the acting overall?
know. Overall, like not amazing. No, but I thought actually I thought the writing was quite good. I thought that multiple times. I was like, oh, okay, that was well done. That was well done, but perhaps the delivery and the acting overall, not so much.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought the thing that stood out for mostly for me for this movie was definitely like the set, especially like the first part at the on the oh crap, what's the name? What's that word? It starts with an A.
The atoll.
The atoll. Yeah. That was good, and like his ship, his boat. Those are all very cool.
Yeah,
And
that's where the money went.
yeah, the action sequences, especially in like the first half, were very good. And I could see, I mean, logistically, you can see where a lot of the money went. It's probably not that easy to film in a movie that's like entirely on the water.
No. Um, it was filmed. I was reading this earlier. It was filmed on like a set that they would eventually use for the Titanic.
Yeah. I think they made the set for this movie and then also used it for the Titanic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and then there was they filmed other scenes around Hawaii somewhere.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I thought there's definitely a movie like in two halves of, well, maybe not so much, but it morphs halfway through. I thought like the first half was like a very solid action movie with lots of great practical effects. And then it kind of like just turned into like when Dennis Hopper got Enola, it was just kind of like a stupid movie about the villain being like, don't do that. And she's like, I'm going to do it. And he's like, no, don't do it. And it was just like that over and over again. It was kind of stupid. But then I guess
Uh,
that she was kind of like that with Kevin Costner's character too. I could have done without that.
this movie was written by the same guy who wrote The Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, really? Sorry for a
Yep.
second there. I like put my microphone in my mouth like this.
Well, we heard a cat, and then we heard you explode.
Yeah, it was quite the thing that happened. It wasn't like very, if you were here, you'd be like, wow, that was a tiny thing that happened. But I'm sure on the microphone, it sounded like a huge cataclysmic event.
Just an update for you. Uh, this movie came out July 28th, 1995, so it will not be on the box office game.
Mm-hmm. Close though.
Very close.
Yeah. Thank you for the update. Did you notice, perhaps you already looked who was in the movie before you started watching. Did you notice Jack Black in this movie?
Yeah, that was something I wanted to talk to you about. It was very brief.
It was. Yes.
He was in and out,
He was.
but I did notice him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in and out. Like he was in the movie for, let's say, 5 minutes in that pretty well done, like, plane scene, if you want to call it that. But then you really only can tell it's him for like 10 seconds. Because then when he's in the plane, he's like wearing a huge goggles and you can't really tell it's him.
Yeah, and he's even on the cast list for. Well, yes, he is Smoker Plane Pilot.
Smoker Plane Pilot. That's the one. Yeah, this movie gave me a lot of vibes of like Mad Max. You know, everyone except where in Mad Max they're all searching for water. This one they're all searching for dirt.
I mean, this movie was supposed to be a ripoff of Mad Max.
Oh,
Like they specifically wanted to write a movie that like took stuff from Mad Max
hmm.
for whatever. For Universal.
Okay. Well, mission accomplished, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure, mission accomplished. I haven't seen Mad Max, um,
Have you
but
seen
it's similar.
Have you seen Mad Max Fury Road?
Oh, did I not say I haven't seen Mad Max? I haven't seen Mad Max. I
Well,
haven't seen the Mel Gibson ones, and I haven't seen the Tom Hardy ones.
oh man, you should watch Fury Road. That is a very good movie. That's probably my favorite action movie ever.
I have heard good things,
Yeah.
but I have not taken the time to sit down and see it. Maybe after the Postman.
That's like this, the first half of this movie. Well, maybe the first third, where it's like that a big action sequence with lots of, you can tell a lot of money went into it. That's like the whole of Mad Max Fury Road, but like a little bit more modern. The whole movie is just an action sequence. It's pretty sweet.
Insane.
Insane in the membrane.
This was one of the highest grossing films of 1995 and was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Sound.
I can see that.
It did not win. Let me just check to see who
But
won.
yeah,
1995, Best Picture went to Braveheart.
I've seen that movie.
Best Sound went to Apollo 13.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was also up against Batman Forever. So,
Oh, Batman Forever, the best of all the Batman movies.
well, Batman Forever nominated for a few Academy Awards.
Probably like costuming and sound, best original soundtrack or something. That's not a thing.
Best Cinematography.
Okay.
Best Sound Effects.
Well, that's fun.
Pocahontas won Best Original Music.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Does it?
It's all making sense. Yeah. There's good songs in that.
Toy Story also up for, man. That was a pretty stacked year.
Sure was.
Kevin
Probably.
Spacey won Best Supporting Actor for The Usual Suspects.
Oh, he won for
Nicolas
that.
Cage won Best Actor for Leaving Las Vegas.
Nick Cage. Gotta love him.
Almost watched Renfield this weekend. The new Nicolas Cage vampire movie.
Right. That is on my list.
But we chose to watch something else instead. Let me just see if I wrote it down.
It must have been good if you can't even remember what it was.
Did I not write it down? Maybe we didn't even watch a movie. Renfield. Oh no, we watched the original Scream instead.
Was that your first time watching that movie?
No, but it was her first time watching the movie, and so I want to get her to watch all the Scream movies. I think I've only seen the first one,
It's a pretty good movie.
but like the sixth one just came out.
Yeah, they're pretty far along.
Scream 1 though is an iconic horror movie.
Yes.
I forgot just like the references that they make. Just great. Just great movie.
It's a good one.
Waterworld, was fine. So the ending, I mean, it was cool. It was cool that, they found dry land. It was cool that it just happened to be, the top of Mount Everest. But the thing that I have an issue with, though, is like, has nobody ever found this place before?
It does seem a little far-fetched that no one has just like sailed that way. I agree.
I mean, it's the year 2500.
Yeah. You think they would have gotten there?
These people survived TikTok, drones, flying cars, but they couldn't find the one dry place in the rest of the world. Give me a break.
So unrealistic. Ruined my immersion experience.
Is there a Waterworld 2? I feel like there should be.
It's worth a Google.
Waterworld 2 does not appear to be a Waterworld 2, which makes sense. Oh, there's apparently a sequel series, but this is in 2021. Nothing's happened about it since then. Sad.
Very sad indeed.
Okay, well, what else? What else? We don't find out Kevin Costner's real name. He just goes by the Mariner.
Yeah.
Let me try to.
It's got
There's
got the girl from Napoleon Dynamite in it.
Oh, right, that's where she's from.
Yeah.
Even as a child, though, I didn't. She was not great.
Nah.
Sorry. There was a 3-hour cut of this movie.
Jesus. What else could they have added?
I don't know. 170. Well, okay. Well, that's the thing, though, because like I felt the movie was too long because it seemed like they were just redoing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and then even in the end, yeah. We can talk about the ending when we get there. But it wasn't amazing, was it?
The most expensive movie ever produced. The next, so that lasted for 2 years, and then the Titanic became the next most expensive movie ever produced. Kevin Costner personally invested $22 million of his own money into the film.
Into Waterworld?
Apparently, this movie made money, so he probably got some of that back. But
it did make money, yes. It was just a lot of. They had to do a lot to make that money because they spent a lot.
Yeah, a lot of. It turns out he was a fish the whole time too. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, Mr. Gillman, webbed feet and all.
The actress who played Helen, Jeanne Tripplehorn, she makes an appearance in the TV show House. If you've ever watched that, but apparently she refused to strip for this film. But I'm pretty sure we saw her butt. Oh,
yeah, maybe it wasn't her.
It was a body double.
There you go. That was a weird scene.
In between takes of the nude scene, Tripplehorn remained off camera to offer a robe or towel to the double. Very nice.
Oh, there you go.
She didn't have to be naked.
No, that was pretty unnecessary. And it was like out of nowhere. It's like, okay, I know what you want. It's like, whoa, okay, what the hell?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of glad that it wasn't like a romantic. They didn't go in the romantic way for the most part.
Yeah,
It wasn't a happy ever after for those two.
Right. Yeah, that felt like it could have easily have gone that way.
Well, yeah, in every movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, take a look at your notes and see if you have anything else you want to.
Okay, let me take a look at my notes real quick. Talked about the action. Talked about Dennis Hopper, chicken dinners. Yeah, I'm good.
Kevin Costner was going through a bitter divorce during filming.
With who?
Unsure, but people felt that that's probably why he was pretty grim and somewhat unsympathetic. I don't know. Fine, I'll look it up.
Cindy Silva. I don't know who Cindy Silva is.
An actress?
She is... No, not an actress.
He just separated from his wife this year. his second one. He also quit Yellowstone.
What a shame. I love that show.
Things are happening for that poor guy.
Yeah, must be tough to be Kevin Costner.
He's in a country band.
Well, it tracks. He looks like a country boy.
Okay, then if you have nothing else, filming shut down 3 times due to hurricane alerts, but it's post-apocalyptic. He was on set for 157 days, working 6 days a week. He almost died when he got caught in a squall while tied to the mast of his trimaran.
There's a lot of drama in having to do with the production of this one.
Because he was on bare feet all the time, moleskin was attached to the soles of his feet to protect him from sharp objects and edges. It did not save him from stubbing his toes on part of the set, however. Okay, that's enough of that.
All right.
Okay, well, we've already kind of talked about acting, but I suppose we can attach a score to it.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell me how you feel about acting?
I thought Kevin Costner, like I said, his dialogue was not very good. The writing was pretty solid. I thought he had plenty to work with, but maybe didn't really deliver. His physical acting, like all the stunts and stuff, I thought he did quite a good job of. All the other actors were pretty meh. A little over the top and not that inspired. For acting, I gave it a 5. Not fantastic.
5 is good. This is episode 57 of our podcast, not 56, as I said earlier in the episode. Nobody's really listening to this at this point, but episode 57.
57, folks. We're sorry
not
for
56.
the mix-up.
I opened our sheet and I'm like, wait a second. 5. Okay. Kevin Costner was the star of the film. He is Waterworld. He gave such an uninspired performance that it kind of took me out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Jeanne Triplehorn, she was hot garbage as well. The Napoleon Dynamite girl, annoying. I can't swim. Dennis Hopper was fine. The guy who was flying in that thing, I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Oh yeah.
Who else? So I gave acting a 3. A 3.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it was pretty uninspired.
Ending. I'll go first for ending.
Okay.
Because we are a team.
We are a team. I'm not sure what that has to do with you going first, but you go right ahead.
Because you went first last time.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't know. This movie was confusing. It's like I don't understand how they let so many people sneak up on them. Like they're in the ocean. Everything is ocean. How can you not see people coming from miles away? Anyway, that's not important. They find this place. Oh, I guess the ending is probably like they kill Deacon and get Enola back. What's her name? Enola.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to dry land. And everybody's happy.
Yeah.
So, okay, I didn't like acting and I didn't really like the ending. That doesn't necessarily mean that the movie score will be low, but I'm going to give ending a 4.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I just felt like they rushed the relationship between Mariner and Helen and Enola, so that the ending where he all of a sudden like really cares for them and doesn't want them to be hurt just didn't feel very believable.
She's my friend.
She's my friend. It's like you hated her up until now.
Yeah.
And Yeah, and it kind of went for like the happy ending, like the villain dies and they find land and he goes and does his own thing or whatever. Yeah, it was like didn't really work for me all that much. Ending, I didn't give it a great score either. I gave it also a 4 out of 10.
Okay. I'll go first for overall score because I feel like it's going to be lower than yours.
Okay.
And we like to leave on a positive note. Send the people home happy, even though they're probably already at home or on their way to work or riding the bus,
Yes, on the
on their way
bus.
to pick up groceries. I don't know. I'm on the bus sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've in this podcast episode, which it's going to be another lengthy one. We have talked a lot about the holes in this film. That's probably why it's um, kind of choked at. It's a running gag. I mean, there are a lot of like Waterworld rides and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
there's
a
like a whole thing at like Universal Studios. It's like the Waterworld thing.
yeah, they're still running.
Yeah.
It was 30 years ago almost. Okay. Um, the movie wasn't very good, but it wasn't as bad as maybe I thought that it should have been. The
Mm-hmm.
Rotten Tomato score very low. It's in the 40s. The IMDb score is 6.3, which that's kind of closer to where I'm leaning towards.
Yeah.
The acting and ending, which again, like IMDb is kind of more Your Mother Ate My Dog, the podcast score. We're closer to that score than we ever are with Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
What a joke. Calling them out right now.
Bastards.
Anyways, I've lost my train of thought. But the movie acting and ending were bad, but the things in the middle were also kind of bad, but not as bad.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of holes in the movie uh, as a whole. Oh my god,
A lot of holes as a whole. Mm-hmm.
this is why I should write stuff down. But I gave the movie a 5.5 out of 10 overall.
Okay. Yes, that is a very interesting score. I really liked the first half hour of this movie, especially. Lots of great action, as I said, and it was thrilling. And I was wondering how this got 30% in the 40s. Sorry for a Rotten Tomato score. And then I kind of saw the rest of the movie, and the acting showed more. There was less just action, and then there was more like interaction between characters, and it got a little less interesting. And the ending felt rushed, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. But yeah, as an action movie, as I thought it was pretty solid. I also gave it a 5.5 out of 10.
Wow, look at us. Okay. Were you always going to do 5.5 or you just wanted to copy me?
No, I always wanted to do 5.5. Chicken dinners.
What's going on?
What do you mean?
Why do you keep saying things like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, Waterworld is done. I just had a panic, like, oh my goodness, I haven't picked a movie for next week, but Waterworld was my movie, so.
Yeah, I got a movie picked for next week. It has Elijah Wood in it.
Oh, well, if you stick around Yellow Jackets, you'll see Elijah Wood in season 2.
Yeah, we watched the first episode of that, and it wasn't really for us. So we're probably not going to be watching that.
All right, well, they, spoiler alert, get cannibalistic.
Yeah,
Really good.
knew that much.
They play soccer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what do you want to do now?
Box office game. Box office game.
Okay, well, the weekend of July 7th, 1995, Um,
Mm-hmm.
it was my big 4.5 birthday. We celebrate half birthdays in my house. I turned exactly 4.5 on this day, 1995. Jesse just coming past his third birthday. Very exciting.
Yes.
The big movie, the number one movie in its second week, at the top of the box office, Universal, 65 million in its second week. I'm gonna tell you, it stars Tom Hanks. 95 movies starring Tom Hanks. I'm thinking Philadelphia right away, but I don't. I think Philadelphia was too.
Well,
This is too late for Philadelphia.
I can tell you, based off what we learned earlier, that it's probably Apollo 13. Because we were talking about 1995 movies and
Oh,
Oscars.
my goodness. For the second week, Apollo 13. Did we do it? We do it. Houston, we have a problem. That's the tagline.
Piece of cake. Bring on the next one.
Okay, this is an MGM film.
Okay.
Its first week, $17 million. Pretty good. Natasha Henstridge.
Oh boy.
It is a science fiction horror action movie.
Natasha Henstridge? Isn't she
Yeah,
the underworld lady?
Natasha Henstridge. Ben Kingsley,
Ben.
second actor, and Michael Madsen.
What the fuck? What the hell was Ben Kingsley doing in 1995 with whoever you said the first thing? So is that the lady who does the underworld movies?
No.
Okay.
Let me look up Natasha.
Okay. Let's go ahead and cheat real quick.
Relief. Oh, she does not look familiar. She's Canadian.
Okay.
I mean, it did ruin it for me. Yeah, but I mean,
Is it a movie you've heard of?
It looks familiar. I'll give you the tagline though.
Okay.
You may not get this, and that's okay. It's another space movie. 2 decades ago, scientists sent a message to space. This is the reply.
1995.
I don't think you're gonna get it. It's not like a pretty known movie.
It's got to be The Abyss. No, I don't know. That was a bad guess.
It's Species.
Oh, okay. I have heard of that movie, but no, I would never have gotten that.
Species 1. There are numerous species. Okay. Movie 3 is a Sony Pictures movie, also in the first week, almost $11 million.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Connery. Sony Pictures Sean Connery. Richard Gere.
Mm-hmm.
And then a third actress who I don't know the name of.
Well, what's her name?
Julia Ormond. It's action, adventure, drama, romance.
My word. Sean Connery and Richard Gere.
Their greatest battle would be for her love. The tagline.
What the fuck?
Sean Connery versus Richard Gere in a movie about love.
That's got to be the Mothman prophecies. That's a bad guess.
I don't think Connery's in that, and it's definitely not a 95 movie.
No, it's probably like from the 2000s. No, I don't know what that movie is. I've never heard of it. I'm sure.
The director is Jerry Zucker.
That's not going to help.
All right, we are going to give up on that one. Oh, the plot is The Timeless Tale of King Arthur and the Legend of Camelot. Does that help?
No.
It's called First Night.
Okay.
Night with a K.
I haven't heard it.
Okay, this one will be the next two actually will be easier ones, I would assume,
Okay.
because this next one is a Walt Disney movie
Mm-hmm.
in its fifth week, having already made $91 million.
Fifth week.
So we're talking end of May, early June. Walt Disney movie from '95.
I know that they always release Toy Stories near my birthday. But usually they do it on my birthday. I think the first Toy Story came out on my birthday, or I went and saw it on my birthday. But then you were also talking about Pocahontas earlier. Well, give us the first actor then.
Irene Bedard.
Okay, it's Pocahontas.
Do you know that for sure? You're just guessing.
I'm not just.
Isn't Toy Story a Pixar?
It's a Disney movie. Disney
It
Pixar.
is Pocahontas. Pocahontas, you are correct.
Okay, cool.
Actor 2 is Mel Gibson.
Oh, that's crazy. I never would have guessed that.
I guess he plays John Smith.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, the fifth and last movie of the week is a Warner Brothers movie.
Mm-hmm.
Only in its fourth week, but it has already made $154 million.
What? Okay.
Val Kilmer. That gives it away. I feel like looking at the Oscars, the Academy Awards from '95 was like just totally ruined this game. But we did need some help because it's '95.
Right. Batman Forever. The best Batman movie.
Could you name me the second actor in Batman Forever?
Is it, oh God. Is it the guy who plays Robin?
It is not.
Oh gosh. So it's going to be like the villain. Who the hell's the villain in Batman Forever?
I believe they have multiple villains.
Okay.
Because actor 2 and actor 3 are the two villains.
I think it's the one. Oh man, I'm having a hard time remembering. I'm getting them all mixed up. I don't think it's the Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
It's not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think that's the one. That's the one with George Clooney, right?
I think so.
Who the hell does Val Kilmer go up against?
Think straight man actor.
Straight man actor.
He takes no guff from nobody. He has three names.
Oh. He has three names?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, that changes everything.
He was in one of the biggest franchises of all time that also starred a man who grew up in West Philadelphia.
Okay, wait. Okay, Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is actor 2, but who's actor 3?
Jesus.
Who's the second villain?
It's Two-Face and... Oh, it's probably, Jim Carrey?
It's Jim Carrey, yeah.
Let's go.
Hell of a movie. Hell of a weekend. I mean, First Night is higher up than Pocahontas and Batman Forever, but it's fine. Big space weekend.
Big space weekend, indeed.
Big Oscar weekend. Man, just totally ruined that.
Yep.
Man, that was Box Office Game. Thank you, everybody, for playing along at home.
Thank you so much, folks.
Yelling at their iPhone or Android, being like, Tommy Lee Jones.
It's
He's
so
talking
obvious.
about Fresh Prince.
He's so stupid. And I've seen all the Batman movies. I didn't get that. They get the ones from the 90s get all melded together for me. So George Clooney was the Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
He must have been because Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't um, the in the 80s. What's his face? Michael Keaton. And if he wasn't Val Kilmer, then he would have had to be George Clooney because he wasn't Christian Bale.
Yeah, welcome to the new ice age.
You know, his son-in-law is Chris Pratt.
Whose son-in-law is Chris Pratt?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What?
Chris Pratt's married to his daughter.
That's wild. Okay.
Well, now I have to look that up just to confirm, but I'm pretty sure. Chris Pratt played Mario.
He did.
Yeah, Catherine Schwarzenegger.
That's crazy. It's a small world.
She looks nothing like him.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has a son that's like looks like his clone. It's really weird. But he like I think I don't know. Anyway, you just look up his son and you'd be like, oh yeah.
I won't, but thank you.
Okay, that's fine. Just keep looking up Batman movies. That's no problem.
We're just going to do the ultimate live action Batman movie quiz because you seem to think that you know.
I've
Actually,
already,
no,
I've already
this is
admitted I don't know all of. Okay, it's stupid. Fair enough.
which Batman movie was Jack Nicholson in? That was Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that's Batman Returns. I think. No.
Is Michael Keaton in Batman and Batman Returns?
Yes. He's in the first two. And when Jack Nicholson plays the Joker, that's the first one. Batman.
Batman Forever features what U2 song on the soundtrack?
In the name of love, once more. Name of love. I don't know.
I don't know either. Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman also in the Val Kilmer movie.
Yes. Catwoman.
Was she?
Yep.
Are you sure that wasn't? Oh no, I'm getting it. Yeah, you can easily get them mixed up.
Right.
Okay, Batman and Robin. What character informs Batman that there's a new villain in town to kick off the action? Oh, Robin, probably. Oh, Alicia Silverstone's in it. Oh my god, that movie would be so. We should watch a Batman movie. Anyways, next week. Do you have any? You want to give any hints for your movie? Episode 58.
It's a Elijah Wood movie. I think it's from the 90s, but I will double check. Yes, it is from the late 90s. That should be all you really need.
Well, I won't be looking it up. I just know Elijah Wood so well that I should just be able to know it. We're watching The Hobbit.
Yes, my favorite 90s movie, The Hobbit.
I should know this. Oh, he's from Iowa. That's cool.
Oh, hey.
From the late 90s.
He's not the star in this movie. He's just in it.
He is in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
He is in that, but that's not what I'm thinking of.
Good movie.
That is a solid movie. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of good options here. A lot of good options.
It's gonna keep you guessing.
If you are picking the movie that I think that I see on this list, that is also a movie that I've thought about picking for the podcast because I've heard good things about it, but I don't know if you're on the same page. And we're going to see the bumblebee flies anyway instead.
We're going to see the movie Flies? What?
There's a movie he did in 99 called The Bumblebee Flies Anyway.
Oh, yeah, it's not that one.
He played a character named Barney Snow.
Barney Snow.
Well, then it's either this one or it's that one that came out in 98. Very exciting. Both movies I haven't seen. Oh, maybe I've seen the first one, but I don't remember anything about it. Who's even in this one? No, I don't think I have seen it. Okay, great.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
Fantastic.
Because it's time for bed.
It is.
Which is just what we say when we're done the episode. Not that it's actually time for bed, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's 2:00 in the afternoon. Of course, it's not time for bed.
So we don't have jobs, because this pays our bills.
Oh, yeah, we get paid the big bucks with this one.
Isn't it weird how we haven't had, like, a sponsor? How can we just pay the bills?
We have a contract with Spotify.
All right, Jesse. Thank you so much for coming on again and telling me how you really feel about Waterworld. It's crazy how we scored it the same once again.
It's a crazy life we're living.
You take care now.
You as well, and maybe one day I'll have you over for chicken dinner.
I don't like. Is this like a game you're playing with somebody?
I don't know what you're talking about. You don't like chicken?
Okay, everybody, have a wonderful time away from the podcast, and we'll see you again next week for episode 57, where we watch an Elijah Wood movie.
Bok, bok, bok.